US you have now, you know, the BVN. I supervised the introduction of the BVN into the financial system. You know, all these things that our payment system in Nigeria is far more mature than that of many advanced countries. That is the truth. These were all the results of what we did. Why? Because we had an independent institution headed and run by professionals who had vision and courage. We set a standard for ourselves to be the best, among the best in the world in terms of reforming the banks. We were ahead of the Federal Reserve Bank, and because they later on did what they call the Volcker Rule and the Dodd-Frank reforms, we were ahead of what was happening in England with what we were doing here. So, after 5 years, I left and went back to the US as a professor of practice in international business and public policy at the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, one of the premier universities in the States. So that experience, 2 books came out of it. The first was a book called Emerging Africa, How the Global Economy's Last Frontier Can Prosper and Matter. In that book, I laid out what I felt was a master plan for economic transformation for developing African countries. And the principal argument of that book was that the secret of development begins in the mind.
Yes.
That was my principal argument. That the reason why some countries are rich and some countries are poor can only be found in the way they think.
Attached strongly to the book. My presentation will be in just 3 parts. I've already tried to establish that the book is well written. Those are the things I said about the book. And I'll move on immediately to certain issues that I identified within the book. And you know, there is one nice thing about being the last person to talk. People have already established a lot of things, so there wouldn't be any point regurgitating what I've been saying already. However, I have my own opinion, and I will still try and also express it. The first thing I would like to emphasize is history. Yes, some of the persons that have spoken earlier, Dr. Boa mentioned the issue of history, but I think we tend to remember not to forget in this country a lot. Or rather, as Professor Additional would say the last time he was here, sometimes we can be very selective in the things we try to tend to remember. The author has, in some parts in his book, made points to historical events that he said has defined what has become of Nigeria. Permit me to mention this one, some of these events. He referred to the amalgamation of 1914. He also referred to the 1951 regional elections in Ibadan. He also made reference to the January 1966 coup d'etat. And of course, the Nigerian Civil War from 1967 to 1970. And I agree with him. These are events, or rather, issues that came up in our history that has continuously, even up to now, been defining the things that happen in our country. But I want to answer, because I feel you've got this, June 1993. Because the events of that particular period, to a large extent, influenced democracy we have today. And without every sense of humility, I would like to also add, or rather to tell you, that one of the challenges our generation is having with yours is that sometimes some of the things that happened in your time, you don't consider it history.
You are in the same generation.
Sometimes what they refine us, sometimes you find it with some of the things that happen maybe through your, or rather things you witnessed, you might not be able to clearly define them as history. But for us, it is very important for us as the next people after, because when you don't document some of these things, or when you don't make reference to them constantly, we in our own time will begin to forget, or we don't even get to know about it. So I would encourage you, if you want to revise, or even when you get in, if you want to revise what you thought about, try and capture other issues that have come in recent times. And then, it's back to the issue of memory. While I was doing my MSc research, I worked on the IPOP struggle, so I had the opportunity to go to visit four major hyperpendulums. One of the things that get on standing out at each point is the issue of memory. We think people have forgotten, people have not forgotten. And the reality is that most times, these are the things that define the actions they take. And unfortunately, as Dr. Amadi has referred, we have in Nigeria a very large number of uneducated people who think they're educated, unfortunately. So, with half truths, people are able to impose quasi narratives, like very fake narratives, and use it to drive and push certain interests that they have. For us, it's time for us in this country to wake up and define our national narratives. It's important for us to say, for whoever is the government, we should stop shying away from, or whoever is the government should stop shying away from coming out to face some of these narratives and make sure that we come up with a more reconciliatory and more nationalist narrative. That's one. Secondly, I like already Dr. Lafayette and Dr. Amadi has referred to the issue of illicit and restructuring. But I just want to add one thing. When we talk about the fact that we are more divided than at any time before, rather now, before or after the Civil War, for me, there is a particular class of Nigerians that has made sure that the status quo has remained. And that's the political elites. Because they have a way of manipulating these identities to serve their predatory and personal interests. And unfortunately, we tend to forget that our so-called division is more of class induced, and it is seldom a product of primordialism. If you look at this table, you see people from different ethnic groups, from different places. And when they came, were they not all smiling at themselves and shaking their hands? But the people that would really be used to project some of these things, they might not be in this room, and that's the unfortunate thing. When the members of this political class begin to manipulate them, telling them that they are on this side, they're on the other side, we might not be able to push it. So I would want to add my voice to what was said earlier. Let us all take this as a message that if you want this country to move forward, it is very important that we move it forward as a group, and to understand that there must be a national consciousness that will help us to move forward. Another thing I would like to refer to is the issue of women and youth in our society. Already, Dr. Kua has done justice to the gender conversation. Yes, so I wouldn't want to regurgitate what she said about women. But interestingly, while she was speaking, one of my friends showed me a cartoon that appeared on Punch this morning, where they have a banner stating 5K collection points. That's a point where you come and collect 5,000 naira, reflecting almost what happened in the state. Now, there were like 5 different persons on the queue, and each had a thought attached. The cartoon showed that each of them had a thought that the person was reflecting on while waiting for his seat or turn to collect the 5K. So, permitting to read. The first person said, with this 5K, I'm going to secure more shabu discs. The second person said, codeine and tramadol, the way forward. The third person said, Bet Niger, sure hold, this 5K must bless me, Oluwa, bless my household. Then the fourth person said, at least I can get a new week. Now, in as much as I agree that this should be some of our realities as Nigerians, but I also want to correct something. Not all Nigerian youths think this way.
Yes.
Because in this room, or rather, in the course of working with IT, I've met a good number of intelligent and very competent youths that, to a large extent, driven even what we do internally here within the school. So, for a cartoon like this to be on the national newspaper depicting, unfortunately, it's not his fault, it's true. Most of us, rather a good number of our youth think this way. But I also want us to not to fall into that danger of a single story, no matter what. But also, talking to you, I also want to speak to you, the so-called responsible youth like me. We should also understand that we are less than 5% of the larger number of youths. If I take a quick sense, in fact, as I'm standing here and I look around, I can count 20 very familiar faces. Not places I've met at the Isgpp, or places I've met at different fora. Maybe an American Corner program, maybe a program in UI and all. So what I would do, we're just speaking to ourselves. The same number of persons are the ones attending these programs. They're the ones listening to the same message. They're the ones that will be doing the whole Twitter conversation. Sir, permit me to ask you, what is your strategy for engaging those youths that are not within this circle? Because for me, they are the ones that will kill us. They are the ones that will kill to collect 5K. And they are the ones that will say that the 5K will be very useful to maybe to engage in their frivolous activities. I don't think the folks I'm seeing there are going to do that. So what's the strategy for engaging those youths who are not within this so-called 5% circle? And then, still on the issue of just a little bit about men, we must also rise above mere domestic. You mentioned that in your book. When women and even youths are used to complete numbers, sometimes we fall into that fallacy of, or rather that, yes, into that unfortunate act of saying, let's have a woman so that it will be balanced. Or let's have a young person so that it will be a balanced equation. For me, nobody hands over some of these things over to you. You have to collect it yourself. The last time Aisha Shere was here, she said that she doesn't subscribe to the fact that they should say youths and women should not pay nomination forms. I don't support that too. If you're a youth and you believe that you deserve to occupy a position, you should be able to rally your fellows around you, support you to contest. If you're a woman, the fact that you're a woman doesn't mean that nobody should, that people shouldn't pay for nomination forms. Because for me, that's even the first step of putting yourself at a disadvantaged position. Now, I want to make reference to something that I also feel is very important. The office of the citizens. As the chairman said, it is you and I. Until we change this, there's a mentality that was noted down. This guy was the power waiting for him. He's our son, we must support him. Very soon, our person will enter. These are some of the unfortunate narratives that have made us to be negatively fighting our country without realizing that we're actually fighting the soul of our nation. Moreover, how about the transactional relationship that is recently becoming dangerously obvious between our politicians and the citizens, between our leaders and the citizens? If a politician comes to this place, or rather, if a politician goes to Bodija market and refuses to share money, it's already trouble. That's the reality. We must go beyond some of the things that are written in books to realize that there is this increasing transactional relationship between leaders and followers in Nigeria. And these are the reasons why we've graduated now from rigging, or at least obvious rigging, to rigging through cash. We're in a big trouble because if it continues this way, just imagine, I was just thinking about it. Imagine if someone like Bill Gates decides to fall in love with Nigeria and say he wants to acquire this new baby. Maybe 10% of his resources in our elections, he has taken over. That's the total reality. Because 5,000 naira has become the norm. And the way things are going, the election has shown us a little bit of what we were going to expect in 2019. The way things are going, even if you increase to 10,000, the way these guys are mobilizing their funds towards the election, they are ready to increase it. And unfortunately, our people are also willing to collect. Transactional relationship between leaders and followers. We need to think about that. On the issue of economic growth, he mentioned something above all the nice ideas, because I'm not an economist. Dr. Poe has said a lot about the economy. He himself is an economist. But one of the things I took note of, which if you're a very constant participant at our events, what Ogunmogo always says, is the role of land in development. Yeah. Land, until we begin to understand that economic development to a large extent is tied to land, we will not grow in this country. I like one of the things you said. You said we should abolish the land use act, and I support that idea. Because freehold of land provides access to capital and supports innovation. The whole idea of building a new country, the whole idea of using innovation to drive our country cannot work if people don't have access to land and at least are able to use it for economic purposes. So, another interesting point he mentioned in his book are the different strands of or types of capitalism, of which he adopted the entrepreneurial capitalist mode, which is driven by small firms and, of course, the informal sector. The truth about our country is that the informal sector is our economic sector is very large, and to a large extent drives what happens in our country. It's also time for us to think beyond figures. Some time ago, even when they said we are out of recession, people are saying, has the price of bag of rice has it come down? If I go to the market, can I get career at the cheaper rate than as it was when we were in recession. People kept on asking those questions. What it means is that Nigerians don't want to listen to those figures. They want to feel the impact of economic development. If you are saying that we're growing, but at the same time, we still remember where we are. In fact, we're even getting worse. You've already mentioned that we're now the capital of very unfortunate. So, economic development or transformation must go beyond quoting figures. Most of this I'm saying are some of these ideas, and I just want to elaborate on them. Another thing I also want to talk about is the issue of innovation. You know, it's unfortunate that authors and publishers are having this period of this now. I don't know how many reviews he's made when it comes, but he writes very well. Same with, I'm sure, people from Bookcraft. I don't know how much they make from the sales from their books. Intellectual property is perhaps, according to Professor Mohammed, the most important basis of prosperity in the Western world. Until we begin to support people who are able to think and able to put down their thoughts on paper to make sure that they progress and to even to protect them, we cannot move forward in this country. And unfortunately, this disease of plagiarism and all has even moved even fully into our institution of learning. So I wonder how we're able to be creative when plagiarism is increasingly becoming the order of the day. So for me, we must incentivize innovation. And another thing is that we need to go beyond media celebration of innovation and excellence. For example, recently we learned some young girls emerged first in the US for a World Innovation Challenge competition. Now they are on the news. In a year's time, where will those girls be? We need to go beyond carrying these news. To start taking up of ideas and try to see how to support these innovations in more concrete terms. Another thing is that we have still part of the issue of our inability to think and to create. Is the fact that we have a largely consumer conscious society. We consume the best things in the world, the best of wine, the best of cars, the best of soup. We consume the best of phones. Whenever iPhone is about to launch, the largest share of pre-orders come from Nigeria, and yet we are the poverty capital of the world. That's the unfortunate contradiction of ourselves. And finally, in terms of innovation, our education institutions should stop being a place for overstamping existing knowledge. We should be more active in the process of creating knowledge. We should be able to charge our system and incentivize people who are really hardworking and who are thinking of how to create new ideas in our system. I will link this to the next point, which is human capital education with purpose. The education system of any country, as I said, is the foundation of the country's progress. Its inertia or its retrogression. It's unfortunate that we now have a crop of elite schools, private schools, everywhere in Nigeria. Unfortunately, the private schools have gotten to the point that someone can decide to just use his or living room as a private school. And people are patronizing for her. Why is it so? There is lack of public trust in our education system. And it's so unfortunate because most times the few private schools we have cannot take all of us. That's the reality. So when these people have had this type of education at primary and secondary level, they come into the university and they begin to struggle with the realities of our times. Another question we need to ask ourselves for our education system is, what's the form of recruitment? How do we recruit people that don't work out in our universities? If Doctor mentioned that someone had a first class, why should that person be running the streets? At least I'm very sure, no matter how much you want to mass produce first class, you cannot have more than 10 in the class. So, what is the system doing to retain those persons that are the best that they can produce? Insofar as the recruitment process in our universities is based on primordialism, based on who you know, I don't think we can ever get this right. I'll give a very simple example. If a department admits someone that probably graduated with a 2 or 2-1, and maybe because the person knows someone, I don't want to say 2 or 2, and that person, the person might not begin to exhibit his or her trace of corruption at all immediately. But remember, someday, especially in a hierarchical system like ours, that person will be the head of the department. So, tell me the type of policy that person will adopt when he or she knew how he or she came into the system. We need to also look at, she already mentioned it, a complete mismatch between the demand and supply in terms of labor and skills. We need to start thinking of how to make our curriculum now, system of pedagogy, to be more interesting. There are a lot of obsolete courses in our system, and we need to remove them. You cannot, there are one unfortunate about Nigeria. There are a lot of, I used to call them, those days I used to call them my unfortunate lawyer. I'm not trying to disrespect families, but some of them, they find themselves in, maybe they're studying religion. Religion is not bad, it's not bad to study religion, it's actually good. But the point is that they apply to study law, and the university then told them, no, don't study law, study religion. Or study linguistics. Or philosophy. Now, my point is, had it been those persons on their own said, I wanted to study philosophy, it would have made a lot of sense. Yeah. So why, since you know that people are not applying for these things, why not create courses that will attract people? And enhance capacity. And then secondly, and then of course, enhance capacity. Because when you you already have lecturers working through the family, say there must be someone there. When you push people into these places, there is no way. Some of them eventually might become interested, but in most cases, especially from my personal experience, while they are 100 level, there is another jump. And unfortunately, that distraction will make them not to perform very well. And eventually, they might even get the second admission that they won't get it. And eventually, they will graduate with whatever result. And they are part of the people we are talking about that are unemployed. We must stop frustrating our youth and our system. And then, another thing I want to talk about in terms of education is the issue of brain drain. Next week, I believe, UCS brought an invitation here that they want to talk about brain drain. He told me that every week, at least 7, 5, 10 colleagues are leaving this country. Every week. Doctors. What it means is that someday, so at some point, we will not have anybody to choose in this country. And it's so unfortunate that even countries like China are beginning to poach our own people. Let me give you a small story. China, at some point in 2007, 2008, they established what they called Confucius Institute at Nnamdi University, and they tried to do it in other places. I think if I'm one other places. Now, what did they do? They said, whatever you're studying, whether you're studying engineering, accounting, or whatever, once you're done with lectures, come and learn Chinese for free for at least 1 or 2 hours. Just all you need to do is say, I'm interested. They started in 2008. Now, remember, these are students who are taking their regular courses, studying engineering and accounting. By the end of their 4 years, they now told them, if you listen our exams very fast, we are going to sponsor you to China for a master's in your program. I know people are living in droves. You will not blame the university for trying to empower the students, but at the same time, look at the strategy they used to be poaching out. Most of my friends from the East that did that program and left, they are not bad. In fact, some of them don't even bother buying wines. So what it means is that every day we are losing quality, we are losing human resources in this country. And let me tell you the honest truth, our greatest strength lies in our human resources. And we need to realize that the only way we can help ourselves is by looking for a word to build ourselves as a nation. Another point I want to refer to is the Nigerian diaspora. The truth is that a country cannot become, Nigeria cannot become great unless our diaspora plays their own role in nation